What's up, thoughtful people? This is Zay here with another episode of Zay's Thoughts, and like I promised yesterday, today we'll be talking about our top 5 running backs. And once again, I'll be joined by my brother right here.
Hey guys.
Alright guys, we're going to get right into it, and we're going to start with my number 5, which is Alfred Morris. This guy ran for 1,600 yards, he had 13 touchdowns, and he was behind RG3, who had 815 yards. So, being a rookie, 2 rookies actually with RG3 and himself, they have one of the most dominant rushing attacks in years that we've seen from the NFL. And it's only going to get brighter. Yesterday, I was kind of mistaken saying that a lot of his production was because of the read option with RG3, which, don't get me wrong, that is a big portion of it, but it's not all of it. This guy is a power guy who will go through the middle, and if I had to compare him with any other running back in the league, it would be Marshawn Lynch. The first guy that hits him is not necessarily the guy that's going to bring him down, because he's going to hit you as hard as you hit him. He's in and out of his cuts with fluidity, and he's just a ferocious guy, and he has a knack for the end zone, and he will not settle for anything less.
How you're talking about, I completely agree with everything you were saying, but how you're talking about comparing them to Marshawn Lynch, I actually have Marshawn Lynch number 5 on my list also. Marshawn Lynch had 315 carries with 1,590 rushing yards and 11 touchdowns. I think the best way to describe Marshawn Lynch, the only play you need to see is the play in the divisional round against the New Orleans Saints, and he ran, and about every guy on the team had to be wrapped around him, and he comes out of the hole, and he scores a touchdown to win them the game. I was mistaken, the wild card game. And he's just a fantastic player. You can't take him down with arm tackles. You're not going to hit him with the first tackle. And he just has such heart. He has the heart of a lion that you just can't bring him down with the first hit. And just the way that he plays, he brings such energy to his team. And that's why he's a very great leader and number 5 on my list.
Okay, guys, my number 3 guy on my list is going to be one who I think he actually disrespected tremendously, and that's the guy he just got done talking about, Jamaal Charles. How can you disrespect a guy that you just talked about with only 285 carries, which is almost actually more than 100 less than what Adrian Peterson had 1,500 rushing yards, he had 11 carries of over 20 yards, he had 5 touchdowns, and only 5 fumbles. That's a great year coming off an ACL in a division that you're on the bottom in, that everyone counts you out in and year out, that you're being overshadowed, like you said, by a guy who's had the exact same injury that you had, and you're still producing and got no recognition. That's why I have this guy at number 3 on my list. Anyone with that kind of heart and that kind of soul to be able to go through that adversity and still show out on a team that you could say has nothing to play for. He could be like Chris Johnson on a team with nothing there, that he's just like, oh, well, if we're not winning, then I'm not playing. So this guy's still doing all that he did under the circumstances that he is. That's what puts him over those guys.
How did I disrespect him tremendously?
By putting him at number 4.
But 4 to 3 isn't really that big of a leap. I think the person above him, which I'm going to dive in, Alfred Morris, is better than him. I just got to say it plain and simple. You touted him pretty much. 335 rushing attempts, 1,613 rushing yards, and 13 touchdowns. A lot of people want to say it's the read option that carried him, but it's not. He runs dives and runs through the smaller gaps, and he can squeeze through those small areas because he's kind of small in stature, and he is a lot like Marshawn Lynch, who can get through the tackles, and he reminds me a lot of Marshawn Lynch, but also Maurice Jones-Drew, because he's just like a tank. Like, you can't hit him on the first time. He'll run over you, go around you. He might even go over you. But
with that said, Jamaal Charles is a proven back. He's done this for years and years and years. And Alfred Morris, although he's a fantastic player, he's in my top 5. I just don't see how you can put a rookie who's had a ton of help, who has a great coach who has produced running backs over the years. Tatum Bell, that's a guy that most of you guys at home have probably never heard of. He was a 1,000-yard rusher in 2008, I believe, under Mike Shanahan. So these are just guys, he's a coach. Clinton Portis as well. This is a guy that's came and went, and Mike Shanahan brought out the best in him. And he's bringing out the best in Alfred Morris too. Taking nothing away from Alfred Morris. I just think Jamaal Charles, with his skill set and what he's proven throughout the years in the adversity that he's gone through, I think that makes him a better back than Alfred Morris. It's more than just numbers that make you a complete back. So we'll see through the years what he really has to offer.
Well, my mindset is I can't not put a guy in because of his age. If I think he's better than him, then I'll put him ahead of a guy. Not just because if there was a 15-year veteran running back who is pretty good, and then a rookie coming in, I'd put the rookie over him if I truly thought that he was better than him.
I mean, talent-wise, we can debate that all day.
Yeah.
Jamaal Charles is one of the fastest running backs in the league, one of the most elusive running backs in the league.
Alfred Morris is one of the strongest running backs in the league.
But like I said, he has not proven as much as Jamaal Charles has.
I think 1,613 yards is proving yourself pretty well.
But then you have a quarterback in your system as well that has 800 yards. So that just proves the system allows success. We were talking about this earlier off camera, that there were other running backs on the roster who looked great. They look like they could be starters anywhere else. So if we remove Alfred Morris from Washington, throw him in Jacksonville, is he going to have 1,600 yards?
If the coaches give him the opportunity, I can't say it's not as good as what Jamaal Charles did just because the system is run-driven. More power to him if he can get 1,600 yards in a season in a run-driven offense. That's just better suited for him, just like Adrian Peterson. I'm not going to say if we dropped him somewhere else, would he still get over 2,000 yards? He did it. The coaches allowed him to run because he was going for the record. I can't get mad at a guy because his offense is made for him.
But Jamaal Charles, what I'm saying, I'm not knocking Alfred Morris at all. I'm just saying Jamaal Charles has proved that through adversity, through several different coaching changes, his talent is still his talent. No matter what you throw at this guy, he's still going to be productive. You would literally have to take both his legs and both his arms, and this guy would roll down the field with the ball in his mouth to get a touchdown. That's what I'm saying about Jamaal Charles.
Well, throughout all those coaching changes, I'm just going to say it how it is. The team wasn't very good at all. And the coaches knew their star player was Jamaal Charles. And you mean to tell me they didn't give him a lot of rushing attempts?
I don't know if I'd say they knew it was Jamaal Charles because Dwayne Bowe has gotten a lot of superstardom down there in Kansas City.
Dwayne Bowe has had a couple of off seasons in a row. It's this season that got him his new big contract. He just started getting back on the same page because
I'm saying the city and the coaching staff seeing Dwayne Bowe as that guy. That's our guy that we want to give this money to. There was never a doubt from the day he was drafted that he was going to be their guy.
Well, I thought that he didn't really handle the adversity as well as Jamaal Charles did because he didn't have as great as numbers as Jamaal Charles did.
Granted, well, we're not talking about Dwayne Bowe.
Yes.
No.
Granted, he didn't have a great quarterback, but I'm saying the coaches knew that Jamaal Charles was who he was, and they gave him just as many carries that Alfred Morris will probably get in the long run.
Okay, guys, so my number 2 guy on my list is going to be Marshawn Lynch. This is another guy that I think he had way too low on his list. He's a guy with heart, like you said, going back to the New Orleans Saints play. I know it was years ago, but it's just that one play that I think really sums up his game. Even though he's done it several times, that's the one play that I would really say, this is Marshawn Lynch. A guy who you can't take down. A guy who is willing to put the load on his shoulders. A guy who is willing to fight through adversity to get to where he is. Put the team on his back, though. I just think that he's a strong back, quick, elusive, and I don't get how this guy can be any lower than the number 2 guy on his list.
Well, I can give you one reason why he can be lower on my list, and that reason is Arian Foster. Arian Foster, to me, I thought you strongly disrespected him. You said all this good stuff about his fantastic dead leg move, his leading touchdowns for the last 3 years. even with Adrian Peterson out there running on the loose, but he was still very low on your list. This guy has the best vision, I think, in the whole NFL, and his patience is unmatched. He'll run in the backfield and wait for his blocks to develop, which a lot of running backs kind of lack that talent unless you're one of the elite top 5 on this list. A lot of guys lack that. They want to just try to bust through a hole, and that's why they're not very successful. But this guy, his vision, he's patient, he waits, he sees a hole, and he has such great offensive linemen, and he knows he does, and he just finds a way to get through a hole, and his speed, he's faster than most people think because he just gets through that hole. And if he's in the open field, there's very few defenders that can catch him. I think it's obvious who the number 1 running back in the league is, Adrian Peterson, and I'm going to let you give a synopsis about how he's been doing.
Okay, guys. Almost 2,100 rushing yards, 27 carries of over 20 yards. That's almost 10 or 15 more than anyone else in the league. And that coupled with 12 touchdowns and 131 yards a game, those are unheard of. Those are Madden numbers.
It's ridiculous.
And coming off of an ACL, it's insane what Adrian Peterson was able to do. And that's why I don't even think we really need to spend much time saying why he's such a great back, because his game proves it on the field. And he'll be the number 1 back, I think, for at least the next 5-6 years.
Yeah, I heard a player say something that really intrigued me. They said he's like the Wolverine because he just came back, healed quickly, and even came back better.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. And if you want to chime in and... Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to chime in and express your opinion in the comments below, that would be very much appreciated. Also, leave a thumbs up on the video if you liked, and if you want to see more videos just like this one. Our next video is going to be top 5 tight ends and wide receivers.